Shalom, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. We're so excited that you're here. Today, I'm going to talk about Rosh Hashanah. It's such a beautiful holiday. It's September, it's happening, and we're excited for you to join us. So I wanted to tell you before we begin that we're going to be celebrating Rosh Hashanah on Sunday, September 29th at 6:30 p.m. So join us. We're so excited. And if you're new here, do subscribe to this channel. We invite you to be part of the family, and then also turn on the notifications button so that way you know when we're live every Shabbat service at 11 a.m. So join us here at 11 a.m. and follow us on the socials. We're here and we want to be part of your family. We want you to join us anytime you can. What is Rosh Hashanah? Well, it is just the new year. Hello, not just the new year, but it's also one of the high holidays. And if this is your first year celebrating Rosh Hashanah, don't stress it. I also had no idea what it was, how to do it, but I knew it was so symbolic and so important to my Christian faith. So I began to read about it. I looked into my Jewish learning. I looked into every article that I could to learn more about it. And I want to encourage you to do that. But I also want to share, today I prepared this message, and these books really helped me. The Lord's Appointed Times by Rabbi Jason. Really beautiful book. I hope you can see it there. Well, maybe you can. And then this one, it's called How to Be a Jewish Parent. Now, I'm not a Jewish parent. I'm not a parent, but I am a child and I want to learn how to do this. It's really fun. So I read about this stuff, and so that's how I learned about it. And I wanted to just let you know that this is how I did it. And I hope this blesses you, strengthens you, and just encourages you, and just, it's a fun video today. So Rosh Hashanah is the new year. It's considered the new Jewish year. It's also called the Feast of Trumpets in the Bible. So Rosh Hashanah or Feast of Trumpets, that's how you'll see it in the Bible. And now it'll make sense to you, hopefully. Now, Rosh Hashanah is a high holiday, and I love high holidays. I just love all Jewish holidays overall, honestly, because I feel like it is during the high holidays that we are super intentional about allowing God to encounter us, allowing God to really, wrap his arms around us and just speak truth to us. So that's what I love about the holidays, because, throughout the year we are busy and we're just doing things, and then we do something that we just feel like God is not pleased with or something, and then, sin separates our awareness from, of God. Like, it really separates us from God. So this is a time where we intentionally come to the Lord. So if you have felt like you have just, felt separation from the Lord, or you have just not been feeling it there, this is the time. This is the intentional time that we make time to actually allow the Lord to wrap his arms around us and just speak truth to us, over us, and about us. So that's why I love the holidays. That's why I love Rosh Hashanah. And it is a very important holiday. Now, let me tell you, on this day, it is believed that Sarah and Abraham conceived Isaac when they were old, because we know they were old, right? And then Rachel conceived Joseph on Rosh Hashanah. Hannah conceived Samuel after years of barrenness, and we know this because we read the Bible, New and Old Testament. And then Joseph was freed from prison in Egypt after interpreting Pharaoh's dream during this time. So it was on Rosh Hashanah that he was allowed to, just be free. Now, then on this day also, God created, it is believed that God created Adam and Eve. So we celebrate the design of God, the breath of God, creation. This is the day that we celebrate the creation of God, just the breath of God. It's so beautiful. And so it is a time for us to remind ourselves, to remember that with God, with our beloved, we can go from barrenness to blessing. And this is a time of transformation, a time for us to allow ourselves to hope again. And this is something that you're really gonna like. Rosh means head, which means beginning, and then Shana means year, which is the word, and the word year actually comes from the Hebrew word Shinui. Now, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, but this means to change. So this is a time of transformation, not only in our physical, first in our spiritual lives and then in our physical lives. Like, this is a time where it's like a really powerful moment for us to really take in action and really believe for the promises that God has given us. Grab hold of those and, get to work. Now, I like this. On Rosh Hashanah, we eat, drum roll. All right, we eat honey with apples and challah. I love challah. I love it. And this is really the apples and the honey. It's really like, I think kind of like you do, like say, oh, we're doing this like to have a sweet year. But this doesn't mean that you should eat all Skittles and, Twix and all that stuff. Enjoy these, the apple, the honey, and the challah. These are so significant. And I hope that if you can join us for Rosh Hashanah, you'll get to learn more about what it is. And this is just a little tiny intro, to get you excited about this beautiful celebration. And now, because it is the Feast of Trumpets, the Feast of Trumpets, I'm right. So, of course, we're going to have a shofar, the blowing of the shofar. Now, on Rosh Hashanah, the shofar is blown 100 times. And now this is a representation. Now, this is really fun. These are really fun facts that I learned. The shofar is blown 100 times. Now, when I think about the shofar, like the blowing of the shofar, it reminds me about God giving us victory. Like, when the shofar is blown, I just feel like I suddenly have a spiritual adjustment. And I would say that that's really what happens. We have like a spiritual adjustment that reflects over our entire lives, our entire being. And the reading that happens throughout Rosh Hashanah is Genesis 22. And so in this part of the Bible, God tests Abraham. And as God is testing Abraham in this part of the scripture, God uses the expression, and I hope I say this right, lech lecha. And he says it twice. Now, the meaning of lech lecha, I hope I'm saying it again, is to return to himself. So I want to say that God is saying that over us. Now, when Abraham became a dad, okay, like he was 100 years old when Isaac was born. And so the Lord is constantly reminding in this script part of the scripture, reminding Abraham, lech lecha, return to yourself, return to who you are, because God created us, and this is a call for us to also to return to ourselves, because God has created us to believe, to know him, to love him, to believe in him, in his constant provision, presence, and protection. And I want to say, and I want to invite you to come into a place of reflection. It's a really great time also for reflection. So let us come into a place of reflection, into a place where we remind ourselves that God is indeed our everything. And without God, we cannot do anything. Apart from Jesus, we're pretty much empty-handed. So God is with us. No matter where in our lives we have been, no matter if we felt distant from God, Jesus is Redeemer. So Jesus is who redeems us always, that we may come to the Father. Now we all have access to the Father because of Jesus. And so this is a great time to remember that he is with us and for us, and that it is okay to return to ourselves, to our real selves, the one that God created, to allow ourselves to chase after that longing for our Creator, for our Father, for our beloved. So I pray that you can join us. I pray that this blesses you, strengthens you, and thank you so much for joining us here at Beth Ariel, and we hope to see you soon.